These Indeed Brewing commercials were truly a labor of love. This whole process started about a year ago when Simon Redstone, the director, and I were interviewing Ryan Bandy, the chief business officer of Indeed, for something completely separate. And he said something really casually like,
I wish we could fuck our content up. Like, I wish we could do something totally different and come from a different mindset, bring art to it, bring like attitude to it.
So in hearing that, it just kind of got Simon and I's wheels turning.
How can we create something that's different, that's marketable, that's memorable, that's never really been done before?
So we knew the opportunity door at Indeed was cracked, and we kind of just decided to barge right through it.
First, y'all came in hot. There was a full book, there was a full pitch. And so I think that like kind of overwhelmed us in a way that was like, oh fuck, these are hustlers and they're like out there to do it and they want to make something from nothing. Like it felt like something has to happen here.
From there, we started writing, conceptualizing, ended up creating a deal for 3 high art ads for Indeed Brewing Company's highest selling brands: Pistachio Cream Ale, Mexican Honey, and Flavor Wave.
So we wanted the ads to feel pretty distinct from each other, but set in the same world. So we decided the best way to do this was to build our own set.
We got all hands on deck, and in the back corner of Indeed's packaging warehouse, we ended up building the walls that you see in the commercials. Painted them, primed them, sanded them, all of it.
If anyone is wondering what an Emmy looks like, this is what it looks like. Yep. And this is what it looks like.
It was really important to us that when it came to the set design of this, that it didn't look like we just went to a random thrift store and found what we could grab. We wanted each room to really feel alive.
All of the beautiful furniture you see in these ads was provided by Architectural Antiques in Northeast Minneapolis. With the help of Caleb Anderson, Simon, Carly Lamoreaux, and Jasmynn Stechmann, our 2 creative directors, were able to pull almost everything you see. The sconces, the door we installed, the exit signs, the crates for the pistachios. 90% of what you see in these ads was provided to us by Architectural Antiques.
Simon places a lot of value on the symmetry for these ads. We had a pretty extensive shot book where we went through frame by frame to see where things would land, where our blocking would be, and where decorations, lights, everything were going to be hung up on the wall.
So once we got everything in place and ready to go, it was time to actually shoot the ads.
Camera speeds.
Scene 1B, take 1, mark.
The start of our day shooting Cream was centered around shots of the suave man and the cow lady.
You know, there are certain things that are better when you get them straight from the source.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
I found Steven when Simon and I were doing a skit for Twin Cities rapper Mati. He played this evil CEO character in this skit called Some Can Relate.
We need more money. There has to be more money.
He was so great in that role that we ended up inviting him to audition for this one. Our original vision for this character was somebody a little bit younger. After a few auditions with other people that it just wasn't clicking the way we wanted it to, the second we brought in Steven and he delivered his first line, Simon and I burst into ear-to-ear smiles, and it was just like, oh, this is our guy.
Working with Steven, he's kind of a director's dream. He is able to listen and stay true to a character so flawlessly. I would work with him again in a heartbeat. Janelle was in one of my early films when I didn't know anything. I had no money. I had nothing besides a camera. She was amazing on set.
Such a gem and an absolute trooper. She's down for anything, and we couldn't be more grateful to work with Janelle.
So we got in a great rhythm shooting our talent, and then, decided to bring in a 1,600-pound dairy cow just for good measure.
How we feeling about a cow coming to set, guys?
Just another day in the office.
See what happens, dude. I've been working with Simon for a while, and if there's one thing I know about him, it's that he loves to work with animals. And so when he pitched the idea of, having the cow eat pistachios, you milk the cow, it turns into pistachio cream ale, it was like, we have to do this. I don't really know how we're gonna do this. I don't know where to get a cow. How do we get one to the Twin Cities? But we knew that we were gonna make it happen at all costs. So I ended up touring 4 farms and saw hundreds of cows, and ended up making my way out to Wanamingo, Minnesota, where I met up with Jack Bjork.
We got some buddies down here in Wanamingo, Minnesota.
got a lot of dairy cows, so we're gonna go see their setups and see what we can use for this.
Jack introduced me to Marshall Freese of Rodash View Farms, and it was there that we found our cow, Luxury. After that, we ended up connecting with Parker Erickson, who was able to transport Luxury from Wanamingo all the way to Northeast Minneapolis, and the rest is history. And we figured it's nice enough that we can kind of just have the trailer outside, right? It's a big fucking trailer. Yep.
Take her for a little while.
All we need in a perfect world is this cow perfectly right here. You know?
With nobody holding her.
You know?
For like how long are we talking?
5 seconds.
Huh. All right.
See what we can pull off.
Yep.
We'll get her cleaned up.
I've never had her in the house, but
You're first. All right. Thank you, guys.
yeah. You guys tell me when to let her loose.
You're ready. Whenever you're ready, brother.
Should we not clap?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time, but that was it. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Is it safe?
We drink it right out of the tank. It's just warm.
Mmm.
That's good.
That's pretty good. That's fresh, boy.
Indeed Brewing Company presents Pistachio Cream Ale, the Midwest's best cream ale.
Cut.
You know, I've shot so many different things, from lawnmowers to corporate events, but I don't think anything really prepares you to have a massive dairy cow on a set like that.
There was at one point I was like, it's going down, the whole set's going down right now, it's taking all that wall.
It was that moment it froze.
Yeah,
I was just staring at the wall.
And it was like a foot away and I was like, it's charging the wall right now, it's going down.
Everyone's just so quiet.
We're like, oh my god.
But at the end of the day, we got what we needed, and it was such a relief to see that cow walk off a set after how stressful it was trying to deal with a cow like that.
You're a good cow. Good cow. Good cow.
Once we had wrapped our cream ad, it was straight into striking the set, priming the walls, and within 36 hours we had a brand new decorations and set placed, and then we're ready to shoot Mexican Honey.
Have a good show, let's go.
Scene 1A, take one, Mark.
Then for this ad, we opened it up with a beautiful sequence of our talent eating a honeycomb.
I'm happy with it.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's beautiful.
Life is all about choices.
You know, Mexican Honey is an 8% Imperial lager. Mexican Honey Light is a 5% refreshing crisp lager. Both equally great options, just two undeniably different experiences. And we tossed around a whole bunch of different pairings. We ended up going with the bodybuilder and the boxer. Enter Charles Griffen. I was introduced to Charles through Christian Clemenson, who is the vice president of operations at Los Campeones, who also provided us with all the gym gear you see in the ad. And the second I saw Charles Griffen's Instagram, I knew, like, this has to be the man to play the heavy side of this equation. Within 2 minutes, he understood the project and was like, yeah, let's do it. A fan favorite on set, smiling, laughing, actually lifting 4 plates on both sides. An absolute unit, and we couldn't have been more grateful to have him in this project.
We had this deadlift scene for the Choices ad that we had kind of gone back and forth about figuring out how we want to shoot it, and a few days before, Simon had this idea of shooting on Bolex. So we decided to bring our friend Kai in, and he shot our Bolex part of it. It turned out great, and super happy that Simon made that decision.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Good shit. Shout, hey, I want to shout Charles real quick. Yay!
Other times you want endurance.
Jerred is a really good friend and an unbelievable boxer. The second we landed on the concept of there being a boxer, there was no one else that could play the part. His intensity on screen was undeniable. He really approached it as if he was stepping in the ring.
Okay. Holy shit, good job, Jerry. Good job, okay, let's do it one more. You good?
And it looked so real, and he committed and tied the whole concept together perfectly with his performance.
Indeed Brewing presents Mexican Honey and Mexican Honey Light, the two smoothest lagers in town.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
And then that was a wrap on choices. That was probably the most creative and challenging ad for us, but it turned out great in the end.
My God.
"36 hours later, and we're ready to do it all again for Flavor Wave Hazy IPA. For this ad, we started our day with a dining sequence, where our lead, Steven, is eating fruit that's noted in the beer. This sequence, we had to be really careful with continuity, with him getting up, moving, and the changing parts throughout the scene. Then we jumped to Nico Borrello's eye tracking shot.
Nico, our waiter, absolutely crushed this role, and he had the perfect aesthetic for it, but beyond that, he was integral to this production. Nico provided his truck for us to transport all the furniture back and forth from Architectural Antiques. He was one of the lead set builders, lead installers. Everywhere you looked, Nico was there ready to help, and I couldn't be more grateful for his contributions, not only on screen, but off.
Then it was time to bring in the pony.
We got our pony from James Olk of Ponies, Pets, and Parties, and Boots, the pony that we ended up getting, was unbelievable on camera, but it's a lot easier to work with a pony than it is to work with a cow. And the whole staff there was just unbelievable to work with. Jasmynn Stechmann, or Jazz as we all call her, crushed this part. I mean, she learned how to ride side saddle for it, and she totally nailed that muted, emotionless vibe of the robotic woman. Again, another person that beyond her on-screen contributions was just unbelievable to the process. She had a huge hand in curating the way the set looked. She was in our early pitch meetings, and Jazz was there every step of the way, and plain and simple, these ads would not have happened without her.
And then we moved to the 3-shot. For this one, Jazz rode into frame on the pony.
This is a super important shot because it ties the whole concept of the ad together. Jazz is motionless and still for the majority of the ad, and then when she finally gets that sip of Flavor Wave, she's put into motion on her horse.
And for some reason, the pony decided to just let out the most perfect neigh and line up right next to our talent.
Ride your wave.
Cut. Wow.
That's the one.
Good. That was the one. Cut. That's a wrap. That's a broken wrap. Let's go. Good job, everyone.
And just like that, we had wrapped our Indeed Brewing advertisements.
Don't sit still for too long, or the day might pass you by.
This project in its whole was really just made with friends.
There were so many people who poured an astronomical amount of effort and care into these advertisements. For starters, Simon Redstone, in addition to co-conceptualizing, extensively shot listing, set building, and directing the ads, He also spent eons in the edit. This man grinded. He's one of the hardest workers I know, and I feel so lucky to have worked so closely with him for, 8 or 9 years now. Charlie Flatten, who's been alongside me throughout this whole documentary, wore 600 different hats on this project.
Set designer of an AC, of a grip. We asked so much of him, this project demanded so much, and he went about every single task like a champion.
Additionally, Charlie's dad, Mike, was instrumental to getting those walls to actually stand. He put in so much work on it, and I also really want to appreciate Mike. This whole thing wouldn't have happened without Charlie or his dad, so we're very appreciative for both of them. Carly Lamoreaux did so much on this project. Not only was she a creative director and had her hands all over how the set looked, the rugs, the color coordination, but she also styled every single one. She was in charge of all of the clothing, and the work speaks for itself. It looks unbelievable.
She crushed this project. I wake up every day filled with gratitude, not only to be able to work with her on this project, but to be her partner. Yeah, she is a constant motivation for me.
Next, we have the outrageously talented Rascal Miles on audio.
Miles is my dog. Miles is another day one who's always kind of been there. Miles' energy, his character, his ability to not only do recording, but also post. This dude is a master in post-production. It's just a matter of time before he's an Oscar in his hands. That's how much I believe in him.
He's so funny and has taught me an unbelievable amount about what goes into sound work. He's one of my favorite people to have on set, and I'm just so grateful to get to work with Miles all the time. Sawyer Brice, co-owner of Overbite alongside Charlie, was an AD on this project, helped with set build, was a script supervisor, and most notably took these amazing film photos that Indeed will use throughout their campaign. You can't really undersell what Sawyer did on these projects. He's just such a great presence to have around.
Talk about a talented, amazing director. Outside of this or in general, I'm just so grateful to have him as a friend and as someone who I can bounce ideas off of as a director.
Kiera Robinson, the final piece of the Overbite trio, took stunning product photos of all of Indeed's beer. She was also an associate producer on this thing. I've learned so much from Kiera over the years, and being able to bounce things off of her throughout this process was incredibly helpful. On music, we had Clark Amann. He crafted, produced, composed the original scores that you hear in all three of these ads.
Simon approached me after the pieces were done. He wanted something that was a hybrid between Wes Anderson and Yorgos Lanthimos, so like a mix of whimsy and also fear. So trying to exist in between both of those worlds was like the main goal. It didn't feel like we were like scoring or creating the piece. It's almost like we were uncovering the music that was supposed to be there. That's how I know what we're doing is like worthwhile and meaningful, because it captures that emotion so well. On keys, we had Eli Awada. He's just the type that like everything he touches turns to gold. The person kind of laying the foundation was Thomas Richey. He did a bunch of the guitar work and the bass work, set the tone in terms of the chord structure and the overall emotion and rhythm of the piece. The strings were Ava Lambert on cello and then Mary Alice Hutton on violin. And they're just always such a joy to be around and create with. So really assembled the Avengers for this one, and like so grateful to be in all these amazing musicians' presence.
Livia Havens was on hair and makeup. It looks unbelievable, especially look at Jazz in Flavor Wave. Unreal. Salvador Madriz on color. Antonio Iniguez, who is so much more than a production assistant. He is a culture builder. Everywhere you look, he's making somebody laugh. So grateful for Antonio. Also in the production assistant role, we have Rosie Castano, just another Swiss Army knife. Everywhere you look, she's helping out. On behind the scenes photography, we had the wonderful Alyssa Schmidt. I have one of the photos she took of luxury hanging in my office right now. Austin Tigner, who shot 90% of the B-roll that you see in this documentary, absolutely killing it in the TV world, was a huge help on this thing. Also providing footage for this documentary, you have Perz, 18 years old, killing the game. So many people worked on this and poured so much into making this happen, and we are endlessly grateful for every single one of them. Lastly, I want to thank Indeed Brewing Company for allowing us to do this. Ryan Bandy, Kelly Moritz, and OJ Evans allowed some driven, kind of intense artists to come in and, really express themselves through their brand, and that doesn't happen every day, and I just want them to know how grateful we are for this opportunity and taking a chance on us.